This was a story that I just covered in March, so this is a pre-recording that you will be hearing. I will repost the video too in case you missed it. I thought that it would be a great discussion for Mental Health Month, all of May, Mental Health Month. So, Danielle and Jordan Baxter, they're in their late 30s. They'd been together for well over 11 years. They had three sons together and they lived in Philadelphia. Danielle would end up shooting her husband in the back of the head, so you already can say that self defense will most likely be ruled out. Infidelity seems to be why this reason happened, and this is another reason why I always, when I speak about guns, I say it's no longer used for protection, it's used to settle arguments, and it's used for hatred, and it's used for a lot of other things. It's not really used for protection anymore. So when police arrived to that apartment complex on Bells Mill Road, Jordan Baxter was already on a sheet of plastic with the gun on his chest. I wonder, was she trying to move his body from the apartment and maybe put it in the car, but she either gave up because it was too heavy for her, or maybe somebody had already called the police on her. I don't know. But the article that I did read, it said that, someone heard screaming and called the police. So that could have been it. She may have been caught in the midst of things. So, I couldn't take sides with this because, we're all in different areas of our life, and yeah, some people, they do snap and do things, and sometimes it's premeditated, you just don't know. In this circumstance, I don't know. Was he like a serial cheater? Had he been doing this, from the beginning, and he kept just love bombing her and telling her he was going to stop, and he never did? And finally, she said enough is enough, and shot him. I mean, it's hard to say. All we know is that this couple was married, you know, um, for a very long time, seemed to be knowing each other, well before they got married, and she ended up ending his life right there. And there's three young boys, 15, 9, and 8, that they both have left behind because he's no longer coming back, and she may never see her sons outside of a jail cell. So that's a shame that it happened that way. One moment, and it happened that way. She shot him one time, and that's all it took was one time, and he is no longer here. So the question that I'm answering today, you, the one listening, have you ever been in a circumstance where you felt that you wanted to, end a spouse's life? I mean, have you ever got that enraged? It could have been years ago. Hell, it could have been days ago. I don't know. But have you ever felt that outrage? And if so, what do you do about it? The circumstances that people can be put in is absolutely crazy. Especially, let's say, this person is the breadwinner. Because I don't want to just say it's a male, and a woman. It could be same sex couples. It could be, the woman who is head of the household at that moment in time, or was always head of the household. Situations change, but let's say the person is head of the household, they bring in the money. So now, sometimes they get a little cocky with doing so, and they feel they can just do all kind of stuff, especially if, she is at home raising the children. I mean, there's the two youngest ones are 8 and 9, so they are school age, but I don't know if she homeschools her kids. I don't know what the situation is, but they could even both be working. I know he's a successful man with what he was doing there in Pennsylvania, but let's just say that he was the breadwinner, and for whatever reason, she decided to end him because she was just tired of his infidelity. I don't think that it was the first time. I just don't. I don't think it was the first situation. It might have been an ongoing thing that he said he had stopped and he didn't. I mean, we don't know. Only them as a couple, only they know, and the people that know them, they know. Not everyone knows everything, but I'm pretty sure the people that they have around them knows enough. But they were shocked. You know, his friends and her friends, they were shocked that they ended up like this, that she ended his life like this. You know, people had great things to say about him. And honestly, from what I saw when it first happened, you know, Lord knows what's going on with it now, but no one even had said anything bad about her at the time that I had seen. Doesn't mean that they didn't say anything, but no one had said like, "Oh, she's a crazy bitch," and he should have left her. I haven't seen anything like that. So this is just a circumstance that, unfortunately, if there was a handgun around, I'm gonna say it. If there was a handgun that was not around, I don't believe that this would have happened. I believe that this couple, you know, I just don't think that he would be dead. I don't know what would have happened, but I just don't think in that incident he would have been dead. It's too quick. When you're angry, it's too quick to grab something and shoot them for how they hurt you or how they're hurting you. It's too quick. That's why I know that I have a temper, and that's one of the things that I don't need in my home is a handgun. And I don't have that in my home. Now there's a lot of other things that anyone could use, but it takes some time. It takes some thought. A handgun is too quick. It's too quick. It's too easy, and I just don't want to have that on my conscience. That's why I just don't want to have none around me. So yes, Jordan is gone. Danielle is in jail, and I don't know what is going on with the children, but like I stated in the video, I hope they're not displaced. I hope they can all be together. And it's a bad circumstance. These kids are going to have to get some kind of counseling to know, hopefully this doesn't continue. Hopefully this isn't in their mind. It doesn't look like she was a battered woman. I don't see any of her posts alleging that she was a battered woman. I think she portrayed a lifestyle for social media, and unfortunately he was breaking this lifestyle. He was doing other things outside of the marriage. And, obviously she kept forgiving him, and I guess she got tired of it. I mean, she could have started it. She could have cheated first, and this is his retaliation. I don't know. It doesn't get that deep into it, but the circumstance is just sad. So once again, how do you go about situations like this? How do you avoid coming to a point where you might end up severely hurting a person that you were with? What do you do to keep that from happening? Please drop the comments. Somebody might be looking at this video. Somebody might be interested to know. You might say something that's right on point. Me, once again, I just opt to not have a handgun in my home. I don't need it. But besides that, if things are getting bad, and I know it's getting worse, sometimes it's time to get out before it's to the point where you can't even speak to each other. Sometimes it's just best to get out quickly and move on. Even if it's financial, figure out a way and move on, because you can fix things. In the end, they could have co-parented and did what they needed to do for the boys. In the end, they could have, but now they can't. You can't fix deceased. Okay, so CD, you just finished watching The Snapped with Danielle Baxter and Jordan Baxter. So this is for Mental Health Month, and the only reason why I wanted to re-bring up this story, because I believe it's possible that she may have had a mental breakdown. I do. I mean, not all crimes of, I'm going to say, passion, I'm not they're not all mental, but I believe in this case she might have had a mental breakdown. How do you feel about that?
To be honest, I can't really agree if it's a mental or not a mental situation. I mean, yeah, okay, so let's play along with the mental situation. Okay, let's say she had a mental breakdown. Obviously, she did not think this thing through. You mean to tell me you just grab a gun, follow this man out your house, shoot him in the back of the head, lay down some kind of plastic tarp, and leave the gun on him? You was not trying to cover up what you did, and you just sat there. To
All right, hold on. Let's go back a little bit. We don't know if it was outside of the house. More than likely, it was in the house, and I believe she was trying to transport him. That's why he was on that plastic stuff, outside. I believe she was, and maybe somebody seen her, and then she knew the jig was up, or maybe she just said, "I can't do this," and then turned herself in. But before we even get to that part, that's all kind of like after the fact. That's literally like the cleanup. So before we get to that part, how do you feel about her mental? What do you think her mental was like? Now, I'm just speculating because I haven't really got that much information on the story. And though I'm going to go ahead and I guess air this in May for mental health, this story just happened. So a lot more can come out between now and May. But from what I'm working with now is I believe based on her posts only that he probably, had some infidelities in the past and for some reason she just shot him and I don't think you normally do that the first time. That it has to be from I think I'm gonna say I think it has to be multiple times or maybe with a specific person even. But so you don't think there was no mental situation at all with Danielle?
there could have been possibly a mental situation, but I also feel this way too. Mentally, yes, she probably had problems with what was going on, and maybe, yeah, he probably cheated. Okay, yeah, I can understand you had a mental breakdown from that, but that does not stop the fact that you made the choice to do what you did. You can't blame everything, every choice you make on mental health.
True. True. So you think it was just out of an impulse? It had nothing to do with mental or even evil. It might not have been an evil deed neither. You think it was just an impulse thing?
I think it was just a reckless idea. I don't think she knew or even thought about the possible outcome of what was going to happen after she did what she did. I don't know if she just did this and just grabbed a weapon and shot him or whatnot. But even still, the ends never justify the means. Now you got kids with no parents, and now you'll probably never see them again, and you don't even know who's going to have them. And these kids are going to be affected long term throughout their entire life because of an action you did.
That is true.
That man did not deserve that. No matter if he is the one that cheated or whatever, he did not deserve that.
Okay. I think too. I'm gonna revisit this discussion when if more information comes out. Because while you was talking, I was thinking, what if, they were in a room, arguing about stuff, the past or whatever. It's very early in the morning too, and what if, she was like, if you walk away, I'm gonna shoot you. And then she did. I'm just putting that out there. I don't know if this is true. It's all speculation. It's all speculation. But for her to just pick up that gun and then shoot him in the back of his head, one shot, and he's gone. That's it. That's it. You know. But again, everything is pretty much hearsay, and it's kind of what we piece together because we don't know. And even when she does go before the judge and in the court of law and everything, we still don't know because it's her word. It's her word. So we don't know unless they have cameras in their house, and a lot of people do. But unless they have cameras that actually pick this up and you can hear everything, we'll never know.
I would definitely have to agree with you on that one. Until we have some kind of audio feed or, like you said, some kind of camera footage, we never truly know what she said or what was said in
Yeah.
that argument to trigger her that way. But like you said, we got to wait and see.
Yeah, I doubt if there was any camera footage. I'm just
Uh,
thinking about past stuff that I researched. I doubt if there was. I think she just did it and it just was disastrous. And no, she did not think things through. She had, and I can't wait to find out some more information because this is a new developing story. I want to know if was the babies in the house. It's so much missing. But like I said, we will revisit this story again. All right. Well, thanks a lot, CD.